Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Noir Apologia Gaming, and today we're going to do the second tutorial. We're going to do fog. Like, subscribe, share, follow, hit the bell for notifications if you like my content. All the links are below. These tutorials are about graphics, but they are about much, much more. They're about how I, as a person with bipolar disorder, deals with them. That's why I don't take out all of the mistakes, because I want you to see how I go through my processes of thinking. Now, everybody has their own way of doing that as well, but the point is, when you get angry, when you make a mistake, that kind of thing, that's really the point, right? So here we are in After Effects, and we're gonna do that thick fog first. So what you wanna do is you wanna open up After Effects, okay? You want to go to New Project, New Composition. I want to name this Thick Fog. Whoa, that is not how you spell thick fog. Look at that. Good job, Daryl. Okay. And we want to, everything in here is going to stay the same. So, okay, you get 1920 by 1080 pixels. Square pixels, frame rate 60 frames per second. And you're gonna want this for 18 minutes. Yeah, I know that's a long time, but you're clearly not going to use 18 minutes worth of fog, but you want that much because we're doing this in 3 different layers. Just so you're going to speed it up a lot. And there's the second and third layer in the Premiere Pro. Okay, so that's that. Everything else is set. Okay. Now once you press OK, now I have it set already for transparency grid. So that is literally nothing. There's nothing there. See how it has a little star there? See where the pointer is? That means that you didn't save anything just because you opened a project. In other words, if you close it right now, it didn't save anything. So you got to save as. Okay, we want to go to, I want to name this Thick Fog. Okay. Alrighty then. Alrighty. So Thick Fog. Now we have it saved. So now what we want to do is go to Layer, New, Solid, White. And I already have it set for white, clearly. All right, so we could do that. Everything's fine, okay, all right. Now, then we want to we go back up here, Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. Now what this is, an adjustment layer is it's nothing. There's nothing there. It's just so that you can put the effects there. Now, you say, well, why wouldn't you do that with everything? Because if you're doing a more complicated effects, you need them in multiple spots, and sometimes you do want it on the actual thing you're doing. All right, so adjustment layer, we want to go to the effect, noise and grain, fractal noise. That's really ugly, so we're going to, I'm just kidding, it's not ugly. It's just one of the settings, it's just basic setting. So what we're going to do is dynamic twist. We want the contrast 31. We want the brightness -10. We want the overflow to be right back. We want the complexity to be 1.9. Okay, we want to go to transform. You want to uncheck uniform scaling. Now that's important because otherwise what you end up having is just like it's uniform. It's where whatever you adjust, it's going to adjust the same way on each side. Well, we want this not like that, okay? Because we wanted to put some special numbers here. 830, oops, and 840, 830 by 830 width by 270 height. Okay. So you see the fog already start to it kind of looks foggy, kind of looks soupy fog, right? All right. Now, fog doesn't sit still. Everybody knows this. So that's not good enough, right? Okay. We want some movement here. So you set the offset turbulence, starting there. Click the stopwatch here. Go all the way to the end. Now, I like to go one thing more, actually, to the 18 mark, which is nothing because it's just the end. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the numbers. So that's 27. You want this at 27,000. That's a lot of movement there. Okay. See how it moves now? All right. But also, you want to set the evolution for the same thing. Okay. So 0 evolution down here. 1 frame past. 8 times. Oops, not 9 times. 8 times. I mean, I suppose 9 times would be fine too. So it's whatever you choose. Isn't that like this is the way I'm doing this for this, because when I look up and learn things, on YouTube and things like that, this is how I'm educating myself. I'm educating and going, and I'm actually applying it as I'm educating myself, right? And so it's like my own little tech university, right? So all of these little things, you can play with them and stuff like that. If you don't, I mean, but this is specifically for this kind of fog and what you see at the beginning of my videos. All right, so now in truth, I already have this rendered out, already ready to go in Premiere Pro, but I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So we're going to go to composition. We're going to go to add to render queue. If you're going to do this right, okay, you're going to lossless. Go to lossless. You're going to go to make sure everything's right. AVI, all this stuff is great. Okay, we really should have RGB plus alpha, but I'll keep it like that just because. Now the way he does it, I don't like the way he does this. This is why I keep it as AVI. Okay, I just personally don't like the, because you can do all this stuff, but he does the where is it? He does the JPEG sequences. That's how he renders things out. I don't want that much information on my computer. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to like that. So that's just my personal preference. I don't do it like that. See, I changed what he said. So this is not exactly what he does. Okay. Now you want to have a file there. There you go. Thick fog. Blah blah blah. Oh, there you go. So now we have something to print out. Now I'm not going to push save. Why? Because I told you I already have it. I'm not going to have it twice on my computer. So there we go. There's that. Okay. So you would push that, and then you would save it, and then okay. I'll cancel this out. But basically, what you would do is it would change that into the file, and then you would go to render, and this would show up white. Okay. So now we're done with this. All right. So let's go outside, take a break for a second, and we're going to go to the second part of the fog. It's the second type of fog. Okay, so we just came from doing the thick fog, and so it dawned on me that, you know, I named this "come out of the fog," and I don't think I've ever given a proper explanation of how I even came up with that phrase. Now we use, you know, people use that phrase all the time, but in my particular case, I used it in reference to a time period about, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, that I really truly was coming out of the fog. I was coming out of my want to drink, and I wanted to stop drinking, really stop drinking. And I really wanted to, and you know, when it was around the time that I almost died. And so it truly is like that for us, for people with bipolar disorder. Sometimes, you know, you do bad things, and people, you know, you lead your life a certain way, and it ends up being like that. That's kind of where I came up with that. It's the idea of you know how fog is, and you know the fog lifts in the morning, and then maybe you have a sunny day. That's exactly what it's like for some of us, and it definitely was like that for me. So just a little history of how I came up with that phrase. So let's get back to it. We're actually going to show you how to come out of the fog. See what I did there? Whatever. Come on, let's go. All right, again, we're going to open up a new project. This is going to be the tendril type fog. Trust me, you're going to see how this all works together. All this beautiful thing, because I have something already set, so I can show you how this works. All right, so just like before, new composition, everything's fine. 18 minutes again. All this stuff is fine. Okay. Now we're going to name this though Wispy Fog, maybe. Wispy Fog. Okay. That'll. So, but everything else is the same. Okay. All right. Now, same thing as before, but except that this time, instead of doing black background, we're going to do white. And it makes a difference. There's a difference here. Excuse me, black. We need black instead of white, the opposite way. Whatever. I'm bipolar. I can do things opposite. All right, so we got the black background. Now we do new. Oh wait, I forgot to save it. Sorry. See, this is what happens. Save as. I want this to be Wispy Fog. Okay. Okay. So now it's saved. You should do that before you put the background. You really should. All right, so Jasper layer. Pretty much it's the same settings except for a few little settings. Okay, just like before, we add the fractal noise. You go up here, effect, noise and grain, fractal noise, and you add that. Now I've already got it added. So just make sure you can see it. So right, So we're going to go again, dynamic twist like before, but then we're going to keep the contrast like this. This is going to be minus 25. And this, instead of having rat back, that's going to stay the same. All right. Now, let's see here. Okay, uncheck uniform scaling, and we're going to have the width be 1682 by 433. All right, see how wispy it looks? So we're going to go ahead and set the complexity, which is much higher too. So but we both know that, we all know that fog doesn't just sit there like that. If that was that'd be a great Photoshop picture, but that this is a video. So we need to animate it. So starting with here, 0, basically from the beginning, not X is 0, you know what I'm saying? And this is gonna be way higher, like 100,000. All right, so now you get that little wispy looking fog, okay? So sub offsettings are 54 for sub influence, and subscaling is 42%. Okay, and just like we set that stuff up here, I'm going to go down here to sub offset 0 to 2000. Remember, I go one frame past. Okay, so 2000. Okay. Now let's make sure. I need to see something real quick. In case you make a mistake on here, you can go down here. And you can go one frame past, make sure everything's fine here. Okay, yep. Okay, everything should be fine. Make sure that's right. Okay. All right. Okay. And then we're gonna make sure we have this right up here too. Always double check your stuff, dude. Especially if you're using it in the format that I do, like in the sense of that, that this is my talent, this is my ability, my ability to just see patterns and just learn stuff, and I'm able to teach it. If you make a mistake in here, it's okay. If you make a mistake on these numbers, you have to start it all over. You can go down here and you can fix all the mistakes, right? I will show that in another tutorial on how to understand, especially for you, if you're just now getting into YouTube and you're just not doing that stuff. All this stuff that I'm doing might seem really cool to you. I am no graphics designer. I have never been to school and that kind of thing. So this is my way to just show you how I deal with my issues as well. Okay, so. Because I'm smart, I can do this. But some people can't do this. All right, so we got this done. And again, you render out. Now you're gonna render out basically the same way. Now again, just like before, we all know how to render, but I'll show it to you just one more time. So we would go to render queue, just same thing as before, remember? Add the render queue, same thing as before, lossless. And then you're gonna go to make sure everything's fine here, okay? All right. And then you choose your file, okay? Again, I'm not gonna render out for you guys, namely because, okay, so you can make sure you save it because you don't want your work to be done. Okay, so then you render out and wait. Takes a while to render it out through After Effects, but then this is where the next part goes. Now we're gonna put everything we just did into Premiere Pro, okay? So let's take another break. See you back in a little bit. So now you see how to do the wispy fog, the little tendrils and things like that. But I wanted to make sure it's very clear that one of the reasons why I take breaks like this, and it's very important for me specifically. Now, it might not be as important for people that don't have issues necessarily, but for people with mental disorder, you need to understand something. Our mind is really like a fog a lot of times, especially in the beginning. Before we start learning how to deal with issues, our own issues in the outside world and things like that, sometimes our whole life is a fog. And so when we walk around and it's not living, it's just, you walk around. And so my thing is, take breaks. Now, this is actually a really good example of I'm in the middle of a tutorial. I'm finding time in my day in the middle of my work, and I'm actually contemplating advice. I'm carrying my ingredients. I'm carrying the 4-step. I'm taking my advice with no distractions. No one's in here, except for the other person in my head. What? I mean, I just work here. That's how it should be. So, you know, people say, well, I don't have time. You always have time. I'm sorry to tell you that you just always have time. I've said that several times in many of my videos. And so like I said, these graphics designs and stuff like that I do, yeah, that's cool and all, but that's not the deeper purpose. You're supposed to be learning something else here. So you guys ready to finish this up? Let's go to Premiere Pro. Come on, let's go. Okay, so we have the 4 fog layers. Well, 2 fog layers, but what you're gonna do is the first fog layer that we created, that thick fog, you're gonna either duplicate it 3 times, and how you would duplicate something is you take this highlighted, take this Alt, and you go up like that. Okay, now we don't need that. But you understand? Or you can just have it and just put it in 3 times. Either way is fine. All right, so in this particular case, the idea is just, you're supposed to, you kind of want to have something in the background. It makes it cooler, in my opinion. However, if you just want the fog, I mean, shoot, you can do anything with it. In this particular case, we literally want it to come out of the fog, okay? So the bottom layer, we're gonna go ahead and shut this off for a second. So we don't want to see this stuff yet, okay? Bottom layer, we're gonna keep like that, right? Okay. Now I want it to end here, and you'll see what I do in a second. So this is gonna be that, and you want this with the opacity at, let's see here, with the opacity at 24%. So 24%. 24%. Okay. Then you want to blend mode at luminosity. Okay. Then you want to put some lumetric color in there. And how you're going to do that is you go to I guess we'll just go there. Color. We want the blacks. We want 30. We want the blacks at 39.8. 39.8, and we want the shadows at 19.5. Okay. All right. So kind of gives that, that kind of like foggy look. But this is literally going to be the background. It's literally what you're looking behind it, and it'll be the last to go, also, and the way I'm going to do this at the end. So this is how you set this up, though. All right, so let's get this back to editing. By the way, if you ever want to switch your workspaces, this is how you do it. You just go up there and just switch it. But I'm sure there's a keyboard shortcut, but then again, I'm not a graphics editor. I'm just trying to do this stuff. All right, let's see here. So this is going to be this. You don't change the speed at all. Now this one, however, we want this a little faster. Okay, so you want this at, first of all, let's see, speed duration, we want this at 400%. So it's going to be significantly faster. Okay. So you see how significantly faster it is. See how that's pretty fast, right? Okay, so that's that. You want this opacity at 400. Oh, we might want to turn it on. Hello. So 400%. Excuse me, 40%. All right. And here's the interesting thing. It just looks like I layered something on top of something else. Well, no, we gotta change that. So let's go down to, we're gonna go to what? 741.3. 741.3. Moved it down. Now, this could get very confusing, and it does for me. So personally speaking, as a newbie like I am, we're gonna go ahead and turn off the bottom fog for a second. All right, so we can see what we're doing. Because what you need to do is you need to mask this to blend it into this, because it can't be a block there. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to draw a mask here. What we do is what we do is we'll go ahead and put that up. Put that up a little bit so we can see the edge. Okay. Now we want the mask feathering to be about what? We want the mask feathering to be about 300. 300. Okay. And so that it looks like that. All right. Now you can change any one of these. It's what you see in it. Okay. Now clearly this is not going to be enough. So we got this. We'll stretch this out. We got to make sure this goes all the way to the edge of the screen. Oops. All right. There you go. And then you just it's an eye test thing. Okay. Now, first of all, we want this a little bit bigger. I need this a little bit bigger. And I need the screen a little bit down. I'm going to save this a little bit. Like I said, I'm very careful about saving stuff like that. I don't like to do things over. That's part of my boulder. I would prefer not to have to do that kind of like that. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's make sure it's all nice. Okay? And let's get this just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be straight, but just has to be convincing. It has to be convincing. You're trying to sell something here. I'm trying to sell you that there's real fog here. So let's go down to the bottom of the screen. It's hard to see it, isn't it? So, just kind of, there you go. That looks good. Let's go ahead and turn back on the background. See? Now it looks like it matches. If it doesn't, if you still see that square stuff, you gotta make sure that, I mean, the whole point is you're not supposed to see it. You're not supposed to see the line. It's supposed to match. So maybe you move it down a little bit. You know, in my case, see, it's there, but I actually want it a little bit lower even, right? Because it's going to be basically in the middle. Come out of the fog, it's basically going to be in the middle of this. Okay? So, basically like that. That's the way I'm going to do it. Now, I know this is really raw, okay? It should be squarer, as it were. So, okay? So, you got that going on. All right, so let's do the next one, which we're going to do. So, the next one's going to be 800% speed, duration, same thing. 800%. 800%. So, that's going to be really fast. You see? All that's going to be cut off anyway, so it's not going to be that long. You see what I'm saying? All right, so we'll do that, and then we're going to go to get 40% opacity. Where do we go? Whoops. 40% opacity. Get luminosity. Luminosity. Oh, did I change that part? I forgot. I can't even remember if I changed that part. Okay, nope, did not change that part. Okay, so we gotta change that right. We gotta change that to luminosity again. All right, so that's that. All right, so, oh, and we have to move this down. So this has to be moved down even lower. So we're gonna go ahead and, we're gonna turn off the bottom two layers. Okay, so we need to see this. Okay, so this has got to go down. So 11 point whatever, right? See 11.64, 11 point, or it should be 11.64.3, I do believe. Yep. Okay. So that's low enough. 11.64.3. Yeah, that might be too low, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I may need that a little bit up, just for what I'm doing. Like I said, it's up to you. This is your stuff, right? Okay. So that's that. Okay. Now we got to do the masking the feathering thing, the mask thing. So I should take more time to mask this, but I'm not gonna. This is a tutorial, not a perfectionist seminar. Okay, so that's that. All right, so we're gonna do this at masking feathering is 164. Excuse me, 186.4. 186.4. Okay, that looks good. Now I don't want to see that. You see what's happening? You see the line, okay? If you see the line, not good, no good. So maybe we even mask it less than that. Almost, see, for what I'm doing, I almost don't want this masked, but you can't have it square at all. So maybe have it that like that. No, about 100, we try 100. And then we lower it maybe even more, okay? Right? Do you see what I'm saying? It's supposed to look like there's layers here. Okay, there you go. All right. So there you go. Actually, that, in fact, maybe the original thing might have been right. Oops. 4.3. That's perfect. That looks about right. And then maybe we, and you can even, like, I mean, see how you start to see that line? Not good. So maybe the mask expansion, we go backwards a little bit. Don't want it like that. So maybe minus 20. See, again, it depends on what you're trying to do with it, right? Okay. Now let's take this off for a second. Let's double check this one back here. Okay. To make sure that we have that one right. See, it's not right. You see what I'm saying? So the mask, I don't like how the feathering is on that. So we're gonna change that. And look at this a little bit. We don't need quite that. I don't want it to be, I don't want to be so, see, it has to be fuzzy. Gotta be fuzzy. Everybody likes fuzzy kittens. Oh, what? I ain't work here. Oh. Want this downwards, a little bit down this way maybe. Maybe like that, it works. No, I'm gonna do the same thing, minus 20 again. Then I want the mask lower than maybe more than that, to be honest, if I'm being honest. See, now when we turn this on, it shouldn't be seen. There should not be anything seen. See what I'm saying? Right? You can still see, can you see the line? Okay, I think that looks pretty damn good for what we're doing here. But you get my point. It's to your liking, okay? So, as far as the top one here, right? We want to have, first of all, we need to change this to screen. And it shouldn't be faster or slower or anything else like that. Screen. Where's the screen? Screen. Whoops. Hello, Daryl. Oh. All right. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. So, that is nice. I almost want it thicker than that even. See, if you're just revealing something interesting, that's cool and all, but I almost want this darker. So in this particular thing, I want the back one as dark as hell, to be honest. I almost don't want, that's almost too much opacity in my view. So I almost want this, I think I'm gonna change this to 50%, to be honest with you. And this one, we can do, that's fine, 40% is fine. See again, see, these two are fine. This though, I want a little bit darker in the beginning. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to reveal something. Okay, so I almost want it at 100% opacity in the beginning, and then we just completely go down all the way down to where I want it to end. So at the beginning, in what I'm trying to do here, what my personal thing is, I'm trying to do something here. So first of all, we need to cut. Okay, so this is where I want the fog utterly to end. So everything ends here. It doesn't matter what we're talking about here, okay? And I'm gonna add something to that top fog in a second. But we're gonna go ahead and cut this. So we take the razor blade tool, cut that, okay? Make sure everything's cut right. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the rest of this because we don't need it. Backspace, okay? Okay. So this is where I utterly want to end. Now, this is the one that has to be the final one to show. right? Okay. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to, because we did luminosity, you can't do opacity down below a certain level. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we need to put, for what I'm doing, we need to nest this sequence. Okay, we're going to go layer 1, just going to go 1, nest 2, and then we're going to nest both these together as well. Okay, all right, just to make sure. Well, actually, I guess we don't have to now. I'm going to nest 3. And the top one can be decreased because we did it screen. All right, so this one we want to be the last one you see. All right, and the top fog is going to be the first one to come out. So at 4 seconds or 4:30 specifically, we want the, say, 4:30 to 5:30. So from 4:30, starting here, whoops, I'll do these 4, 5, 6, 7, there you go, 4:30. Starting here, we want the top fog to completely disappear. Starting to disappear. Okay? So, opacity, 100%. And then we want 1 second later, at 5:30. Maybe, yeah, 5:30. We want it at 0%. Okay. Okay. And at 5:30, sounds like I'm talking about time, right? 5:30, okay, there we go. So 5:30 to 6:30. So 5:30. I want this to begin to go away. Okay, so we go 100%. Boom. 6:30. 0%. Okay. And then, let's see, it's 6 or 7:30. That's gonna work out real cool, quite nicely actually. It's slowly just disappearing. See what I'm saying? It's 6:30 to 7:30. Oops. I want to go. Let me make sure. 6:30. You want this to be. There you go. And then 7:30. That works out quite nicely. Zero. And then this will start to go out to the end. To 8:30. Actually, there, back, go right up there. 0. Okay. Well, you're not going to see it very well because of the graphics in here. Okay, but we will show it when we play it back. All right, so you can't really see it very well while you're rendering it up. There's a lot of graphics here. All right, here's what we're going to add though to the top bar. I'm going to add tint. So we're going to add a tint to it. We'll go to effects, tint, and we want. Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna add a tint to this. I am gonna add this though. We're gonna add a ramp. Which one do we want to add this to? To the bottom layer. I want business colors. That's just cool like that. So we want red. Copy. Paste. Now this looks pretty cool, right? And then purple. Because it just effing looks cool like this. But it's gonna be, that's too bright, right? It just kind of looks fake, right? So we don't want that like that. So watch this. We want it almost, see that's 100%. It's about 9, let's say, what does 75% look like? Not the Brit, dude. Why do I do dumb stuff like that? It's a purple, excuse me. Dude. What's your deal, man? Oh, what the hell did you do? What a moron. I don't have my purple anymore. I could do this purple. I didn't even say that one. My purple screwed up. I have to put that purple back, but I don't have time now. Let's say, yeah, we'll do 75. So, okay, so we do 75. There you go. That looks good enough. So by the time you get here, okay, that's gonna look interesting. Probably still too much. Still too much. We don't want it to look fake, okay? At the end here. Still too much. 90 is good. We just want a little bit of color in that fog. Because this isn't a real fog. This is like you know what I'm saying? Alright, so there's that. Okay, there you go. There you go. So that looks good. Alright. Now, when this is all said and done, there should be a decent version of this. Now, I could spend time all day long actually tweaking this and everything else, but you guys get the point. This is kind of how the process works. So this is how you layer stuff, and it looks just very, very cool. So, and of course, you're going to render this out, which is what we're going to do right now. And then we'll see the results in a second. So what we're going to do is, just like you would in anything else, go to export. And since you can either export it immediately, or me personally, I'm going to send it to Media Coder so my computer so I can do other things if I so choose tonight. It's another little cool thing. So you send it to Adobe Media Encoder, and that way you can still multitask and still finish your other projects and things like that. So things are rendering out at the same time, so you're not just waiting for something to render out all the time. All right, so that's in there. Even though I think it's in the rifle. Is it in the rifle? I don't even know. I have to switch it over when it's done. If it's not, so oops. I didn't even. You're supposed to check to see if you're supposed to put it in the right folder. Is the point? I think it's in the right folder. Okay. So let's rid of this out, and there you go. That is how you create a fog effect, and let's take a look at it. That's how you create that effect. That's how it's done. Now, clearly, I don't have the rest of it, but that's how it's done. So now you know how to create fog. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, hit the bell for notifications and go to bipolarize.net if you want more content. Be safe when you travel, when you go from here to there, be safe, even if you're not traveling. Maybe you just add a place, you know. You never know what happens. Just be aware of your surroundings is all. Be understanding of one another. Understand that not everybody comes from your background. So you can't just assume that they're being a certain way because they just don't, maybe they don't know how to be a different way. But show them, right? Because life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. You're just not. I know this, you know, when I almost died in 2013, and many people know this with the stuff that goes on today. So take time now. Take time now. And next week, we're doing the glitch effect. And may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.
Oh,